Intel. Okay, I think the marks. People ask me about my view on the markets all the time. Last night I was sitting with a guy, and yeah, it's baggy backs. That is a good way to put it. I think the market's never been murkier, and so you have two options. You can trade the vibes, or you can trade um, the fundamentals. And trading the vibes is always kind of better. Um, uh, and the vibes situation right now is obviously everything's sort of just gangbusters. Everything's bananas. The business is amazing, and it'll never stop being amazing. That's the current perception. If you try to trade the fundamentals, I think it's a little harder. So if you look at Intel, again, very murky. It's hard to tell what's going to happen here. I think it's extremely expensive, and let's actually dig into it. Fuck it. Let's open an Intel model. Let's figure out what to do. It's a good place to start. Why not? I just want to close all my secret windows before I stream. Oh, I'm about to stream. I don't want you guys to see any of my secrets. Okay, so let's just get into this with Intel.
That
absolutely insane
dude, Martin, what's his name?
Martin Shkreli.
Shkreli.
Yeah, I don't believe that the individual PC theory. Intel's not really a player in AI. So this rally is a little bit suspect, and it kind of reminds me of the old days when great stocks would rally, good stocks would rally, great company stock, good company stock, and okay company stocks would all rally together, despite there being an extreme difference between, say, Intel, Nvidia, and Micron. That's kind of why I put Nvidia is great, Micron is good, and Intel is maybe not good. A big sort of Intel bear. Okay, so we got a lot more shares outstanding. So we're at 700 billion cap on Intel. They did grow revenue, but again, nothing to write home about. They beat guidance by quite a lot, actually. But it's down sequential, up slightly year over year. It's a turnaround. And I don't know if you get excited about 7% revenue growth. Obviously, that's the rearview mirror. Maybe they could accelerate meaningfully, but it's hard to imagine with what packaging. I mean, certainly hardware seems to be a lot more important, or maybe just say is a lot more important. I should stop hedging so much. Hardware is a lot more important than it used to be. But we also have seen many cycles where it comes and goes. So I think it's really hard to sit and rest on,
that drug pharmacy dude,
on sort of hardware being king forever. It typically quickly loses its luster after a couple years. It's a sort of a this time is different argument for the memory guys. And, in some ways, again, it's a cloudy outlook. You could easily make the argument that this time is different and be right. And you could easily make the argument of the opposite and be right. And we just don't know what to do until after it happens, which isn't useful to a trader. But certainly the current environment is excellent. I question the Intel rally quite a bit and think it could be a good pair trade as a short against some other, maybe more interesting companies. But, let's look at their guidance. Well, let me look at the earnings estimates. So, okay, so next quarter growth is supposed to be 11% annually. I mean, even the street's not forecasting much on the growth side. So, it's a pretty gnarly outcome. Godel has trading now. It's not available publicly yet, but you can see here I can buy and sell stuff. I got a tiny account just to practice and try stuff in. So that's pretty exciting. We upgraded a lot of stuff in Godel, so make sure you check that out, godelterminal.com. I'm going to show you some really cool stuff later. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to tell what's going to really make Intel truly exciting. I will be trading an account live, and actually a fairly big account, probably the biggest I've ever traded. So that'll be fun. Still like Sarepta. It's just been so busy running my business. What do you guys want to talk about? Yeah, the fabs in US, like, is kind of going to be classic, possible classic oversupply, which always happens in every hardware cycle. But again, we're not in a normal hardware cycle. Something like this has never really happened before. And I feel like they say that at sort of every time, but I really do think, the same thing happened to kind of NVIDIA, right? Cyclical growth. And the growth, maybe it should be growth cyclical, with growth as a capital G, or growth in all caps and cyclical as like very small font. But when the chicken comes home to roost, you get the opposite. The cyclical is in the big letters, and you get very disappointed. I might introduce you guys to my new co-hosts today too. I hope you're going to like them. You better treat them with respect too, by the way. Don't treat them with respect, we're going to have a problem. One is named Alan. I'll introduce you to Alan. And another is named Sheetal, like Sheetal the Beetle. That's what I call him. I don't think I'm saying his name right either. He don't care. But they're also helping me with Godel, and they've done a great job.
That drug pharmacy dude, Martin, what's his name?
Shkreli.
Shkreli.
Okay. Yeah, so I guess, the foundry business, is very, very small at Intel. It's basically non-existent. So the question is, can they get to Taiwan scale? And keep the margins. Foundry isn't the business of yore where, this is now extremely technical, and the foundry has much more IP now than it used to, where the semiconductor company, being fabless was, still didn't mean that you were necessarily giving up your power in the supply chain. But now, it's not really clear who has the upper hand. I was talking to a senior guy in the supply chain, very senior guy, and he said, talking a little bit about the OpenAI chip that came out yesterday, he sort of was like, look, if you go to MediaTek, if you go to, Broadcom, pretty much everyone's going to get back the same chip. That was his theory. And I was like, that is a good point. Everyone using the same vendor, what are you going to, how are you going to do something new? I thought that was really interesting. And yeah, when my guests are here, guys are gonna have a blast. I don't fully own Godel. We have raised capital. We're raising more capital now. Um, let me see. So yeah, I think we're going to do a regular show, and we're also going to get a little studio and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, really excited to do. Yeah, we didn't build. It's interesting. We didn't build a brokerage. We we're using a company called Aries, which we're also investing in. It's a really exciting um, system, and it allows us to provide brokerage services and benefit from them uh, without becoming a full broker ourselves, which would be a real pain. So we get to leverage their infrastructure. And, they're really the ones being the brokerage, but we're providing the clientele and some of our own infrastructure too. So really exciting partnership there. And excited to see how that goes.
Drug pharmacy dude, Martin, what's his name?
Martin Shkreli.
Shkreli.
So yeah, I recommend, I'm probably going to bring back lessons and all this stuff. It's so much work. You guys don't understand. I was here till, it was an early night last night. I left at 10:30 and then my food didn't come at home. I know I'm whining like a little, I got to be more PC too. We got a lot of marquee clients. I can't be so, so crazy anymore. The Knicks one, that was pretty wild. Yeah, it's interesting. Intel CapEx is still down huge from like its generational high. I wouldn't say generational high. Look at that actually. I should get Bubble Boy for some advice on Intel. Maybe I should get him on stream and see if we can chat with Bubble Boy and other semiconductor luminaries like Dylan Patel or other experts. There's a lot of experts on semis now on the Twitter. That's pretty impressive. Wait, they have 2 additions to property, plant, and equipment? Am I bugging? They got, I guess, are they leasing this equipment? Is that what it is? Must be, right? Must be. I don't know that I've ever seen this in my career. Like a capital lease on the cash flow statement in the financing CFFF section, the third section of the third financial statement. Interesting. That is one way to do it. So many great people on Wall Street, man, that have watched my videos over the years. Thank you. Thank you. You are what keeps me going. You are what makes me happy. I appreciate it. I've just been building our businesses, and that's been very important to me. So I've been a little bit out of touch on the markets, but I have a lot of cool things to work on. I have a good biotech pick today. I'll share with you. Coming a little later. I'll probably drop that in Godel first. So if you sign up for Godel, you'll see my new biotech pick before anybody else. Goodell is a information system similar to the other rivals out there. There's sort of four big ones.